Hello, this is Billy Core from the Nostalgia Mall, and in this video we're going to be celebrating the 23rd anniversary of the Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT. You see, 23 years ago, from the day this video is being published, I'm recording this in November, my parents purchased this Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT desktop computer from Best Buy, making it my family's very first personal computer. And that was back on December 5th of 1995. And my longtime subscribers all know the story behind this computer. Again, this is my childhood computer. Now, this isn't the exact one. The original is unfortunately long gone due to my own stupidity. But this particular 822 was donated to me about 5.5 years ago by a really good friend of mine who found this for sale on a forum, and thanks to some donations from some really good friends of mine who are still really good friends of mine 5.5 years later, I came to own my childhood computer for the first time in many years. I was 6 years old when I got the original. I was 23 when I got this particular one, and it's kind of interesting. This computer is now 23 years old because I was 23 when I got this particular example. Funny how that kind of works. I know I notice kind of stupid things from time to time, but this video isn't going to be very formal. In fact, it's not going to be formal at all because I've done much better, more in-depth videos about this computer. It's a computer that's been seen so many times on this channel and has been mentioned even more times on this channel. And I am very, very grateful to have this computer because it was near impossible to find a Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT. Before this, I'd come close with a few other models of Packard Bells, but this is the real deal, folks. And unlike a lot of computers I have in my collection, this computer is a strict time capsule. I have made hardly any upgrades to this computer. I want to keep it as close to my original Packard Bell Legend 822 as possible. So no fancy upgrades, no inappropriate operating systems. This computer is strictly running only Windows 95, although it does occasionally run Windows 3.1, except that's very, very, very rare. The only real notable upgrades I've ever done to this computer, I replaced the hard drive with a 2 GB compact flash drive, which it's running off of right now. In fact, this was the first computer I ever did a compact flash upgrade to. And thanks to that compact flash upgrade, it uses the expansion slot mounted CF cards, so I'm able to pull the card out and back it up, and I'm able to run both Windows 95 and Windows 3.1 on this computer without having to do a dual boot, although, as I mentioned before, I very, very, very rarely run Windows 3.1 on here, especially since I've got a real Windows 3.1 Packard Bell right next to it to the left here, the Packard Bell Legend 204 CD, my 486 machine. So that's the only real upgrades I've ever done to it. Well, I did upgrade the memory from the stock 16 megs to 32 megs. Original specifications, it originally came with a 100 megahertz Intel Pentium processor, socket 5. This is, which is what it's still running. Originally had 16 megs of RAM. As I said earlier, it's been upgraded to 32. I think my original 822 was upgraded at some point to 32 or perhaps even 64 megs. Originally had a 1.2 gigabyte hard drive, but as I mentioned earlier, this now runs off of a 2 gig compact flash card. And in fact, when I got this computer back in 2013, it did not have a hard drive in it at all, so the original drive for this computer is extremely, extremely long gone. And it runs Microsoft Windows 95 RTM. This is actually the only computer I have the RTM version of Windows 95 on. Typically, when I'm using Windows 95, I like to use 95B, or as some people call it, OSR2, because it gives you FAT32 support, USB support, and it gives you a little bit more reliability. But Windows 95 RTM runs perfectly well on here, and plus it's more original for my little time capsule thing I'm going for here. And how much of a time capsule am I going for, you may ask? Well, it got to the point back in the year 2016, about 2 years ago. I was at my local Greensboro Value Village, which tragically closed last year, and I came across the original desk model that my original 822 sat on back in the 90s for a mere $16. It was a pain in the neck to get home, but I got it home, and here it is. The Packard Bell Legend 822 is sitting on the original desk I had my original 822 on, and the the monitor, keyboard, and mouse is sitting on the original desk. The tower itself, the computer, is sitting on the very original computer stand that went with this desk. Even though we got rid of the original desk, we kept this part, and I was able to get this from my dad, and I have a very, very complete setup. Although I understand from this angle you really can't see it. But trust me, this is the original desk. You've seen it before on other videos. And for even more originality, back in 2013 I purchased this off of eBay. This is a very, very nonchalant looking blue mouse pad with the Best Buy logo on it. The reason I bought this was because the original Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT came with the exact same mouse pad, and these are hard to find. So when I found this on eBay, brand new, I had to grab it. Okay, so let me reposition the tripod and we'll play a couple of games on here. Okay, one of the games that I used to play all the time on my original Packard Bell 822, in fact I consider it my very favorite computer game of all time, is a little game known as Earthworm Jim. This is my original copy from when I was a kid, and the original CD and everything for 100% Windows 95 compatible computer systems. So let's go ahead and pop it in the drive. I forgot to mention the CD-ROM in this computer is not original. Unfortunately, the original drive, while I would have loved to have kept it for originality's sake, would not read CDRs, which is important for a computer like this. So I had to replace it with a 52-speed Sony drive, which blends in quite well with the computer and works great, so no complaints there. Let me grab my joystick. I'm using my favorite joystick, the Microsoft Sidewinder 3D Pro, and we also had one of these on our original Packard Bell. So I'll go ahead and start the game up. And I know we've played this game too many times on this channel to count. Earthworm Jim. But I actually do plan to play a game we've never seen on this channel before, right after this one. So let's go to my favorite level of all time. That's right, Big Broody. This level used to scare the crap out of me when I was 6 years old. For the first few times I played it, at least. Soon afterwards, it became hilarious to me, as you'll see why in a moment. Groovy! And I'm having to play this at an awkward angle, by the way, because I'm having to straddle the camera tripod between my legs. I did do a video about this level, well, specifically this level, earlier this year. Groovy! And this game plays just fine on this computer. Funny enough, more annoying than Big Broody himself is these stupid bees.
Oh yeah.
Insert your typical Nicolas Cage joke here. And, ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, the Nostalgia Mall Incorporated would like to present to you, straight from London, England, that and Big Broody, who likes to eat worms. That's the part right there that would scare the crap out of me as a child. Like I said, at least for the first few times. But eventually, this became hilarious to me, and I now consider this my favorite level of Earthworm Jim. And I would like it even more if it wasn't for these stupid bees. I love that noise he makes. Jay Wakefield, of the Flying Scotsman fame, considers Big Broody to be Theresa May's dog. If you don't know who that is, that's the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So, the UK Prime Minister just walks along the street, walking Big Broody on a leash, while he tries to eat every worm in sight. Richie, have you been eating worms? So hilarious.
Doggy!
There'll never be another Earthworm Jim.
Oh yeah.
And this part's pretty funny too. Bridgie's had puppies! Oh, by the way, I'm not playing this with any cheats. This is all legitimate, folks.
Oh yeah. Yippee!
I'm taking my dog for a walk. Brutie's had even more puppies! I must get him neutered.
Groovy! Groovy!
If Holly Stockport of Pop-T Ping Plays fame is somehow watching this video, I would love for you to do a Let's Play of Earthworm Jim, especially this level, because I feel you'll find this game absolutely hilarious. I would love to make that noise the ringtone on my phone. I really should do that. But then I'll be somewhere out in public, my phone will ring, and people will think I have some kind of problem. Which be honest here, I probably do. Again, these stupid bees.
Oh yeah. Groovy, groovy. Groovy, groovy. Oh yeah.
And so long, Big Broody. He has been captured by the dog catcher. Okay, now I want to play a game that I've never played on this channel before. In fact, it's a game I've never really played until tonight. It's a game from a genre that I've never really been a fan of. This is a first-person shooter game. Never liked FPSs. But I feel like since this game gets memed to death, I feel like I owe it to myself as an early Christmas present for you guys to feature this game on my channel. A little game known as Duke Nukem 3D. And I did test this game shortly a few minutes ago just to get it up and running. Yeah. I can't do the Duke Nukem voice as good as LGR does. He was born for that role.
Let's rock.
Alright. Again, I can't say I'm really familiar with how this game works. I've seen it from time to time on YouTube before. The only FPS game I really enjoy playing is the original Doom. So you'll probably see me fail horribly at this. Okay, he's dead. I hear you. Again, this is the most I've ever played this game, I'm sad to say. And from what I've seen, this game isn't as generous with the ammo as Doom is, so we need to be careful. And this game, for a DOS game, is actually pretty heavy duty, but it plays perfectly well on this this quaint little Packard Bell. Still trying to figure out the controls. Some more ammo there. Got an earthquake. Well, this is Hollywood. Huh. Light Switch Simulator 96. What a great game. And I know you guys are probably screaming at your computer screens or whatever apparatus you're using to view this game. Ow, he hurt my little head! Seriously though, I don't know how I died there. I'm really surprised we got that far. Okay, let's try this again. You know what this game needs? It needs Big Broody. I genuinely believe any video game or computer game could be made 100 times better, no matter what the game is, if you include Big Broody in it. I'm gonna die, aren't I? Yes, I am. Yeah. Keep in mind, I'm not really into FPSs, so I am really not talented when it comes to this stuff. Which explains why I die quite a bit more frequently. My favorite types of computer games are adventure games, platformers, point-and-click adventures, and driving-related games. And simulators like SimCity. Those are really good. I'm gonna die. Oh, I was shooting at the mirror. No wonder I was dying. Okay. Okay, we'll do it one more time. Because obviously we are probably not going to get too far in this. Now we need to load up on med kits. And if I practice this game a little bit more, I might get better at it. FYI, I don't like FPS games because of the violence. It has nothing to do with that. I just don't find them interesting. Okay, I'm out of ammo. We're definitely going to die, aren't we? There we go, got a little bit there. Okay, you killed me before I went to the bathroom. You know, that's just not fair. So yeah, okay game, but I'm terrible at it, as you can obviously see. And that's how the Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT stands as of today. I, as you can probably guess, am never ever getting rid of this computer. I intend to keep this computer as long as humanly possible. This is one of those pieces of history that I want to keep and show my children someday. And this computer, if it wasn't for this computer, I I would not be interested in computers like I am today. So I owe a lot of my life to how this computer shaped me. And this is just such a good computer to have. If by some miracle you're able to find a Packard Bell Legend 822 CDT, I highly recommend getting one. It's not just for nostalgia, but it's perfect for running vintage computer games from the mid-90s. As you saw, it ran Duke Nukem 3D just fine. It can't really do much from the late 90s, but for like most DOS games, Windows 3.1 games, and most Windows 95 games, this computer is perfect for that. In fact, any 100 megahertz Pentium I highly recommend for that particular task. So anyway, this is the last video that I'm making before we go into Nostalgia Mall Christmas mode, which starts on December 13th, and I believe that's 8 days from the day this video is being published. So we're going to start doing that. There'll be a new video every day from December 13th all the way up to December 25th, Christmas Day. So I hope you look forward to that. There won't be a video next Wednesday just because we'll be starting the Nostalgia Mall Christmas the very next day. So anyway, I hope you look forward to that. So until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off. Thank you for visiting the Nostalgia Mall. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also support me on Patreon if you would like. The link to all of these are down below. Until next time, this is Billy Core, signing off.